When people comment on Bisous or Sparrow, it's hospitality is the first thing they always talk about. Then it's room and design, then it's music, and then it's cocktails, which is fine by me. The cocktails we still need to nail the cocktails, but that hospitality element is the first thing people comment on, and that's what we need to nail.
Hey guys, this is Sid Patel, CEO of Beverage Director Network and Bartender Spirits Awards. I'm live here in a buzzing Fulton Market area with Peter here, one of the iconic personalities of the bar industry, especially from Chicago. And we are at this award-winning bar. So Peter, thanks for having me here.
Thanks for coming here.
Great. We're going to talk more about the bar as well and about your journey. But first, I wanted to talk about the subject we're going to discuss today, right? We're going to break this down into menu engineering, staff training, and overall, I love the idea that we were just chatting about the difference between a design and functional bar, right? So how that can sort of meet each other and drive more revenue. So Peter, why don't we start with your background, please? Could you just introduce to?
I've been in Chicago for about 25 years, working in the bar and restaurant industry. Got my start in a small little French bistro where I really cut my teeth and became interested in wine and moved up into the wine side of things because there were no craft cocktails and there was no craft beer back then. And after a visit to New York in 2005, I believe, to see the Pegu Club, when they first opened up, I got the cocktail bug and I couldn't stop. So after that, I came back and just fought to open some cocktail bars here to consult on the programs. And I was lucky to open a spot down the road here called Sepia, which is one of the first restaurants of the modern kind of scene in Chicago. Had one of the first craft cocktail bars in Chicago. From there, I was recruited by what is now Breakthrough Beverage. It was Works Beverage at the time to be their cocktail specialist.
Oh, okay. You worked in the wholesale as well?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And then I actually moved to San Francisco working on wholesale as well.
Okay.
Really appreciated what they were doing in San Francisco with their bar scenes. I was very impressed with the bartenders out there. Came back to Chicago, again started just more consulting work. I think 2014, I want to say, we opened a spot called The Betty right down the road here, which was the precursor to Sparrow, which we opened in 2015.
And Sparrow is when, I think, it looks like that made a name, right?
Sparrow definitely made a name for itself, for sure, and it still has a strong name for itself.
Very nice. And what about this bar? I mean, you've been winning awards, so tell us about that.
So this is the sister bar to Sparrow. This is in the Fulton Market District. We started working on this about 2 years ago. We've been open just a little bit over a year. So far, great reception. Number 39 on top 50 bars in North America. We were up for James Beard nomination. Best bar for Jean Boncher, which is sort of our local James Beard Awards. Best new bar from Chicago Magazine. We're right now long listed with Tales of the Cocktail for best new U.S. bar. So reception's been really good.
Great. So let's pick it up on the concept, right, first, sure. Because I think that is a way to start, and when you're designing an idea, and you've done this. So I want to go on the location as well, right? So maybe how do you think about completely an idea? And why do you think, okay, I think a bar over here will look amazing, and this is the concept I'm thinking?
So we'll do the location second, we'll just start with the concept first. So the thing I always say about Sparrow is it's transportive and transformative. So it transports you to a different era, a different time, and it's transformative when you're in there. You should hopefully feel better after you're in there. You might maybe discover something about yourself or someone that you're with.
Interesting.
You might discover a new spirit or cocktail that you like. So it's transformative in that way. And we wanted to take that experience from Sparrow to Bisous. Transportive and transformative. I've always been really into rum, and it made sense in the movement because tiki bars had taken off, but you can always argue, does rum really translate in a tiki drink? Possibly. Cuba had just been opened up by Obama, so there's a lot of interest in Cuba. Whiskey was at its peak, so you couldn't open a whiskey bar, so there was no choice there.
I understand.
So rum made sense. That Cuban era made sense. Chicago has some beautiful lobby bars. Unfortunately, that really run well, so I wanted to take that idea of doing a hotel lobby bar and making it fantastic. And that's what we did with Sparrow. So that was of the moment. Here at Bisous, similar idea. I took kind of what my wife and I were enjoying at home. So we were drinking a lot of martinis at home. She worked in the wine world. We were drinking a lot of champagne. She's a Francophile, loves Paris. Kind of this bright 60s Paris yay feeling was what we're going for here.
Nice. I could see it.
Yeah. And with both places, you don't necessarily need to connect the dots for your guests. You can't create a concept that is so on the nose, so focused that your guests can't draw some of the dots for themselves to create the experience for themselves.
Interesting point, yeah. So you don't want it so like black and white that this is what it is, right?
Yeah,
you want it to play with the 20% where they can just adapt to that particular concept for them.
Yeah. I mean, I had a guest a few weeks ago say to me, so this is supposed to be 60s Paris? I said, I just keep saying that.
Yeah.
And then it happens. And I had a guest at Sparrow years ago say to me, this reminds me of a 1970s Hollywood disco bar. And that is nothing like Sparrow. But that's just what she drew together from that experience. So that was her transportive experience over there.
Yeah, great. So let's say you had this imagination and now you have to storytell this to a designer or maybe a furniture person or architect.
Yes.
What do you look for and how do you translate that?
So I do two things. I do kind of a vision board, storyboard. So I take photos. A lot of them for this place were album covers. So I take a lot of photos, a lot of colors, a lot of scenes, not necessarily of the era, but just things that inspired the feeling. And I put that together for the design team. I say, here's some other bars that I like that I think would kind of help us inspire the design here. Mm-hmm. And then I put together a soundtrack of songs that, because music is very important when you go out.
Very interesting.
If it works right, it helps to elevate the experience. If it works wrong, you've all been in a bar.
But I thought, like,
right.
I personally thought that, okay, everything is done and now you select the playlist which matches.
No, that's part of the whole experience.
Okay.
That's part of the whole experience.
So even that time you're thinking about the music style. Okay.
100%. Because that's helping me, and we're working on another concept right now, and I'm doing this at the moment where I have the soundtrack on my Spotify, and I listen to it every day, and it helps me think about the cocktails, the glassware, everything that you would hold or look at while you're listening to that music.
Very interesting, yeah.
So for the design team for Bisous, I did the same thing, storyboard, music playlist, and we actually work with a company called Uncanned that specializes in doing playlists for bars. Every month they drop 3 playlists for us, early, late, and a chill playlist.
Okay. So everything is done, and hopefully, obviously, the whole pain of
Not
construction.
everything's done.
I know the construction and everything.
It's never done.
The reality is obviously you have to keep pushing to the real imagination that you had.
Yeah.
But now comes the nitty-gritty of it, right? Like the lights, maybe the menu. So how do you think of the furniture selection? Is it all done by you also, or you wait for them to come up with the ideas to present to you?
I can only take it so far. I don't know design. I mean, I always joke that if I had to build a place, everything would still be in cardboard boxes and I'd have extension cords everywhere.
Yeah.
Like a bachelor pad. No, I can only take it so far. And then the design team does the rest of selecting these patterns. I never thought of anything like this for the spot, but it works beautifully. So they select the patterns, they do elevations, we go section by section, a lot of revisions, looking over and over, making the choices on the tables, tabletops, bases, all that. So that's a collaborative experience.
What I like, personally about this is, okay, if I'm sitting in this corner, there is a little different thing. If I'm sitting there, it's different. If I'm on the bar, I know it's a different thing. I can feel that, okay, today I'm in the mood of that.
Yeah.
Maybe let me go there. Maybe I'm coming with someone who I want to sit here. So I can think of a person, a company, and what I want to do, and then select where I want to sit as well.
For sure, it's part of the layering, part of the shellacking, I call it, of the experience. We shellac or layer on the cocktails in the back bar, the experience there. But as you noticed, this room does have different little things for people to discover. It's always a little discovery, whether it's because they're sitting in a different section of the room. It might just be the time of day here. This room looks very different from this bright, sunny afternoon light to what it'll be in about 12 hours from now.
So on the menu now, right? Like you've designed this. How do you focus and think about the drinks? Obviously, your experience is humongous, but for someone who's just new, what tips would you give them on matching the concept and the menu?
Sure. Each concept should drive a certain spirit category for the most part. This one, we're focused a lot on gin and brandies. And when I say brandies, it's not just cognac. We do a lot of eau de vie, Calvados, Armagnac. So those 2 categories I knew were going to play central theme to our cocktail program. It's not going to be whiskey heavy. It's not going to be tequila heavy. We know that. So I picked those 2 sections. And then from there, I kind of just mapped out the menu and said, all right, I feel like we should do X amount of slots in the martini category, because I also knew we wanted to do martini heavy. Highball category, original cocktails. And then you need to have like one cocktail that's going to be your signature. At Sparrow, that's the Floridita number 3, the Hemingway daiquiri. So early on, that was the one we needed to nail. That was our signature daiquiri. Here we did the French 75, and there was a few different cocktails that were in the running. I ended up going with the French 75. It just seemed to make the most sense because it brought the elements of gin, brandy, and sparkling wine all together.
Got it. Perfect. Let's go back on again recruitment for the concept first, right? So how do you match that personality? Maybe you can pick this example as well. Like, are you looking for maybe people who have been to France or French, or I don't know. So give me a little on that.
Definitely hire for personality. We can train people to be bartenders. We can train people in the concept. We can train people in the standards, but hospitality first. When people comment on Bisous or Sparrow, it's hospitality is the first thing they always talk about. Then it's room and design, then it's music, and then it's cocktails, which is fine by me. The cocktails we still need to nail the cocktails, but that hospitality element is the first thing people comment on, and that's what we need to nail.
Okay.
And that comes from building culture.
Yep.
I'm in the space a lot. My partner's in the space a lot. I think we're hopefully both easy to work with and approach, and we enjoy what we do, and that should translate onto our managers and then translate down to the rest of the staff.
So let's maybe do a little mock interview, right? Like what are some 3 or 4 good questions you ask them to know about their personality?
Kind of what we did initially too. I'd ask a little bio and background. I really ask what they're looking for in their next home.
Okay.
Because I do feel like where they, I pride myself on having bartenders work for us for many years. We have bartenders at Sparrow that have been with us coming on 7 years, maybe 8 years.
Wow.
Out of the 10 years we've been open. So I do say, what do you want out of your next home? And it could, we've had people who bar managers at other locations that just want to step away from that and bartend. We have people who are new to Chicago and want to get to know the city a little bit more through their work experience with the people they meet here. We have other people who do want to help us out with inventory and ordering and putting things away, just to learn that end of the business. So it's a variety of things. So I just want to know what they're looking for, so we're all clear. And there hopefully should be something. If it's if they just shrug their shoulder, then there's no real motivation there. I ask them often where they like to go to eat and drink, and why, and why they keep going back to those locations. Because that'll give me a sense of what environment they enjoy being within.
Got it. Last one on that part, which you were mentioning me about the functional design and maybe the layout design or the concept. What do you mean by functional design?
I was doing an interview one time on bar design, and Tobin Ellis was part of that. And Tobin Ellis is very well known for his bar design, and he's out of Las Vegas. And he had a great line. He said, "What if I gave each of you a computer to use, but I only gave you one keyboard?" So that's it would be very difficult to do that. And a lot of times people will do that with their bars. They squish equipment together, expecting bartenders to kind of share different pieces of equipment, and it doesn't become functional. This is where you make your money. The bar is where you make your money, and you need to make sure you make drinks quickly and efficiently, and up to your standards. And the only way you can do that is to buy proper bar equipment and put them in a particular order that's functional, just like you would in a kitchen. So many times ownership understands that in the kitchen. The kitchen has to be functional, has to have a certain layout, but then when it comes to the bar, they usually let an equipment designer just design it. So that's what I mean by it. And the bartenders are going to be working that station for possibly 8, 10, 12 hours a night.
Yeah.
So it has to be comfortable for them as well.
Great. Wow. Any other things that you would want to add?
The other thing I would always say with concept is you have to be willing to buy into it yourself and let it breathe and let it grow life. When you first open a spot, you will have a lot of people in the first 3 to 4 months come in and tell you what you're doing wrong, as they did here, and why we should be doing something completely different. And I feel that you cultivate your clientele, you are willing to make some changes in a positive way. Again, it's like having a child. It grows, it changes. I learn, the bar learns, the staff learns. So you have to be willing to help the bar evolve a bit as well. But overall, just stick to your concept. Don't be afraid to put something out there, say what this is what you're doing, and help it grow.